Jen, why did you guys say anything about the leaked draft memo at the Supreme Court?
How do you mean?
Well, in the past, you have declined to comment on leaked materials, so why now?
Well, Peter, I think as you would note and was reported, the Supreme Court confirmed this document was accurate, even if it is not the final opinion.
The president had a statement out before they confirmed that it was real. So
and in that
changed?
Statement, he made clear, we don't know if this is accurate. We don't know if this document is accurate or the leak is accurate.
And to follow up on a question earlier, does the president think the leaker should be punished?
Again, that's up for the Department of Justice and others to determine. What our focus is on is not getting our distracted or our eye off the ball of what is most important to people across the country here, which is not the leak and the story of the leak. It is the fact that women's health care is at risk for millions of people across this country.
So now the issue, as far as Republicans are concerned, is that since the Biden administration hasn't commented on leaked materials before, because the draft opinion overturning Roe was leaked, that Biden is being hypocritical by acknowledging it. Add that to the other scandal of Biden not focusing on the leak itself, and now you've got the real controversy in all of this. Not the overturning of 50 years of precedent by 5 Supreme Court justices who vowed in their confirmation hearings to respect that precedent, but rather that, gasp, we found out about it a month early. I mean, can we just be honest here and acknowledge the very, very, very obvious tactic that Republicans are using? They are so horrified of actually owning the thing that they've been desperately vying for in overturning Roe that instead they're clutching their pearls and having little fainting spells over the leak, pretending that that's the real news here. Not eliminating the only federal protection for a woman's right to choose what she does with her own body, which has been the law of the land for 5 decades. No, they're trying to convince you that you're not actually concerned about that, you're concerned about a leak. Are you convinced yet? What's so ridiculous about that in particular is that the people who are wailing about the leak being a breach of precedent just overturned 50 years of precedent. Is that the issue surrounding the leak? That it's an erosion of norms? Yeah, please, tell us more about that. We'd love to hear about how something we've come to expect got stripped away. In a way, the GOP's desperation to make the leak the real story is actually a pretty damning point for them, because it is such a pathetic attempt, it is so boring, it's so obviously an effort to distract, that it really does betray just how desperate they are to talk about anything but the story itself, which is that the Supreme Court struck down a right that most people in this country vehemently support. 70% of Americans support Roe as it stands, and only 28% oppose it. And with midterm elections right around the corner, trust me, I can assure you that making Republican campaigns not only about an issue that garners only 28% support, but one of the most animating issues in the country that garners 28% support isn't going to do the GOP any favors. They know that, hence their desperation to distract you however humanly possible. The fact is this, Republicans know that this is a losing issue, but they've been so hell-bent on enacting their wholly unpopular agenda that they straight up forgot they could ever be held accountable to the people whose votes they actually rely on to stay in power. Remember in 2018, when they decided that they'd try to strip healthcare away from Americans because they have no concept of just how unpopular their platform actually is, and they lost around 40 seats in the House? Well, they just handed themselves another one of the least popular platforms to run on in November. And while they might try to distract you from it, we're not going to take the bait. They've made their bed, now they've got to lie in it. To see more videos like this, click the subscribe button right here on this screen. And if you want to support my work, subscribe to my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. I cover the most important stories each week, and my guest is always one of the top political figures, including Vice President Kamala Harris, Jen Psaki, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Nancy Pelosi, Katie Porter, Cory Booker, and so many more. The podcast link is also right here on this screen, so give it a listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.